Hello everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying playing Rogue Legacy and the launch of the game. Today we're going to be going over the Heirloom guides. My stream yesterday I was able to complete the first two Heirlooms to get Dash and talk to memories. So we're just going to go through, on the screen you can see me just going through the first Heirloom. Just got to be careful on the top and bottom, they do damage you. But it's kind of just like a basic obstacle course with some enemies to kill along the way. Um, I tried it a couple times, different classes, but Knight seemed like the best class to actually beat it with. I don't have very many upgrades. I'm level 14, which isn't the best, but it could be. You can probably beat it with a lot less upgrades. This room is definitely the toughest one with the cut blades. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm really struggling with the cut blades in the new game. They're a new enemy, and I still haven't gotten the timing down. It did pretty well on this run though. This one you have to be careful of. You're just gonna spawn you in. You just have to immediately dash. That's one common theme with the heirloom challenges, is they give you access to the heirloom, and you have to use the heirloom to complete the challenge. Kind of a tutorial for the heirloom. I don't know how many heirlooms there's going to be, but right now I know of Dash and the memory one. This one was a little tough. This is where I died the first time I tried it. Uh, right here. I'm not great with the spin kick yet. On a previous room in this run, I got ascent instead of jump, so I was able to get like a quad jump. It's definitely worthwhile picking up. I had to trade max HP for it, but it made this room a lot easier. Right here, you just have to spin kick if you don't have ascent. Even with ascent, you can see I still had to do spin kick. It's really, this is definitely the hardest part of the run, and you need to know how to spin kick properly. If you can't do spin kick and you're just not great at it, then you're going to struggle beating this room. Even with the handicap of having the ascent, I was still struggling with it. And here they're going to send you through this teleport portal, and you have to be ready to parkour your way up there. After that, it's just climbing up this and getting to that. And then once you're done with that, you're pretty much done. You just gotta get through this and just not die on stupid jumps. You can just use the dash to get across this. And once you get all the way up to the top, you'll finally have the heirloom. And the heirloom is going to carry over to all of your characters. You'll be able to dash everywhere now. And that's that. Um, and they call it the power of momentum. And I'm trying to remember what the second one is. But it seems pretty useful. Dash was really, it was one of the runes I used all the time in the first game. And at least now you don't have to waste a rune slot on it by making it a insight. Now here you're gonna see me beat the second one. Um, Also a fun tip here, if you see this fairy chest room and you have a barbarian, you can use the barbarian shout to destroy all the targets. I found that out. Just an easy way to beat that fairy chest room and get you a free rune. Here I got the retaliation rune, which is solid. You send damage back to your enemies. Here's the room for the second one. I'm just making my way up. At first, I had no idea why the room is different. I thought I ended up in the second area of the game, but the second area of the game actually isn't complete yet. They're still working on the second area of the game, so hopefully that'll be out in the next update. And here's the second heirloom. Let's get through the dialogue. I don't really know if the heirloom, like if there's lore behind it, if it's going to connect with the final story. This one's called the power of empathy in Inner Demons, so you'll be able to talk to the little memory slots that you see around the dungeon. Um, I ran into a couple of them before I saw this heirloom, so I didn't know what to do. It said there's 1,000 voices and you couldn't hear it, but now with this heirloom, you can actually hear the memory fragments and talk to them. So on this one, it's going to say that there's two paths given to you. There's probably a hidden third one. And here you can see there's two drop down panels on the left and the right. if you go down either one of those, you're just gonna take damage and you're not gonna actually progress. Um, there's a secret path, as it references in the dialogue. You just need to go straight down below the memory fragment. It took me a little bit to figure out on the stream yesterday, but because I was looking to the left and the right to try and find something, I ended up just dropping down on one of the sides just so I could see what would happen, and it just teleports you up to the top once you take damage. So you go right down the middle, you'll fall down where you need to go. And then here is just going to be progressing through these and using the memory fragments as sort of like hints. So here it tells you the obstacles are just hidden opportunities. You can actually spin kick on obstacles, which I had no idea, but now you can apparently do that. So here you just have to do jumping puzzles by spin kicking on the obstacles. It's not too bad. They do hit you pretty hard if you get hit, so you just gotta be careful. It's definitely a lot easier than the spin jumps in the portion of the first heirloom. This one was a bit tricky. I wasn't sure what to do here. I tried to spin kick repeatedly to get up there, ended up taking 30 damage, but I did end up in the middle, and then was just able to spin kick up, so it was fine. And this section was a bit different. This one involves something called nightmares, which I hadn't seen. I don't know if this exists in the actual dungeon or if this is something that's only in this heirloom. I feel like it's going to be used in the actual dungeon, but basically, if you attack or use any sort of spell inside of that red circle, it's going to shoot fireball and it's going to hurt and it heat seeks. So you're going to want to avoid fighting as best as possible. For this, I just used the voice to destroy the doors. I don't know if there's another way to actually do it, or if you have to use a spell. And here, I didn't know how to progress past this, so I decided to test out attacking in the range. And then I got immediately shot at by the nightmare. So I don't know, there may be a better way to open the door, but I wasn't able to do it with my current class. So I was kind of stuck with just attacking, hoping for the best. Here, I'm just trying to check to see if there's any possible way that I can do it. But yeah, see, it shoots a little fireball at you. Same with there. And every single one of these, it's just gonna shoot at you. Um, did 25 damage, which isn't awful, but if you keep getting hit repeatedly, it's really gonna stack up. And here, it tells you that you can actually talk to the nightmare, and it'll calm down. It just closes the circle. It's not permanent. You have to keep doing it, and you'll see that in the next area that I have to keep calming down the nightmare so that I can actually attack the enemy. And yeah, so you just have to keep closing it so then you can kill all the enemies in the room. It's pretty easy. It's just kind of tedious. You can see there that they came back. This one was definitely easy to do with Barbarian because I'm one-hitting the enemies. There's a lot more fighting in this one than there is in the first one. Here you don't actually have to fight the enemies. You just have to step on the platforms, jump, and it'll destroy the platforms since you can't access the nightmare up there to turn it off. And here you just want to fall down as fast as possible. That's the best way to do it. And then just jump up and you'll be fine. This one's the same as the previous room. So then you just have to keep calming down the nightmare and killing all the enemies. The ghosts are pretty tough. I made it to a different area and I saw the ghost. It seemed like to be a common area in, I don't know if it'll be area 2 or area 3. Area 2 isn't done in the game right now, but they do have area 3 finished, and they give you a quick sneak peek at it. That video I uploaded earlier today, I explored the area a little bit. It seems to work the same way, where the right area is going to be area 2, top's going to be area 3, and bottom will be area 4. Here you can see I finally got to the end. It wasn't too difficult once I got past the combat, but this will let you talk to the memory fragments, and I don't know how useful it'll be, but I guess we'll see.